Hi everyone, this is Donny Lowy from Closeout I hope you're doing well today. Today I'd like to discuss with you the different types of wholesale clothing distributors that you're going to find in New York. So you have a range of different distributors. You have wholesale distributors that represent a specific brand. They might have an exclusive with a brand that is looking to have their clothing sold into the marketplace. Or it could be a distributor that doesn't necessarily have an exclusive, but by default they have an exclusive because they are the only distributor buying from that brand, or they're, let's say, the major distributor that buys from that brand, and that brand is an up-and-coming brand by a new designer, and they're buying all of her clothing and they're selling it to the marketplace. So if you do want access to that clothing, you need to buy through that distributor. Then you have distributors that are more like jobbers that look for different merchandise to distribute. They'll come to my closeout warehouse, for example. They'll see what I have available. They'll buy some clothing in bulk, and then they'll go ahead and they'll distribute it to their retail clients, to the different stores that they sell to. Then you also have distributors who focus on one specific category, but they'll look for different items within that category, or they'll focus on one category and have a relationship with one or two manufacturers that can provide them items in that category. So if you are going to deal with a wholesale clothing distributor, you want to make sure that they carry the type of items that you do want and that there's a reason why you're dealing with them. Now, a good reason could be the convenience, meaning you might be able to get the same price if you traveled out to the manufacturer, and let's say your store is in Brooklyn and the manufacturer is located in Connecticut. So yeah, you can go to the manufacturer and maybe get the same price that the distributor is paying. And by buying from the distributor, you might have to pay 5 or 10% more than if you went directly to the source. But by buying from the distributor, not only you don't have to drive out an hour, 2 hours to the manufacturer, but the distributor brings to your store all the merchandise, and you get to select and choose the merchandise from the comfort of your store or warehouse. And the best part is that if you have customers shopping in your store at the time that the distributor comes to visit you, you can show them samples right then and gauge their interest in the merchandise that the distributor has. Now, another good reason to buy from a distributor is if he has access or she has access to some really good deals that you couldn't get on your own. Let's say you went directly to a brand that makes dresses. Let's say you went, for example, to Calvin Klein and you bought dresses from them. You might pay 60% of the original retail price. But that distributor, because he or she buys so much, they might be able to get the clothing at 40% of the original retail value. And they could pass those savings on to you, and they might charge you, let's say, 50% of the original retail value. So it's still less than you would pay if you bought it directly from Calvin Klein. The distributor makes money, and you make money, even though you're not buying directly from the source, because the distributor is giving you a better wholesale price, because he enjoys a better wholesale price as a result of all the volume that he's able to buy. And then another reason to deal with a wholesale distributor is when they're the exclusive source for merchandise. Let's say they're importing merchandise themselves. So it's their merchandise, and if you want to buy it, you need to buy it directly from them. Or they have an exclusive relationship with another importer or manufacturer or with a brand. Sometimes an up-and-coming designer wants to be able to focus only on the designing and on the research and coming up with some really nice clothing, and not on the sales aspect. So they'll find one distributor that they're confident that can do a really good job in distributing their clothing, and all the clothing then needs to be bought through that distributor. Even if they don't have, I would say, maybe an official or legal exclusive relationship, but the designer might not want to, just practically speaking, be involved with selling to individual stores, and he'll refer people to the distributor, and the distributor might be able to do a better job of explaining and selling the type of merchandise the designer has, because he's familiar also with the type of clothing that different stores need. So if the designer makes dresses and has 5 different styles of dresses, the distributor is going to be more familiar with the stores that he serves in his local market than the designer that is making dresses for a much wider market. So there are many advantages to dealing with a wholesale clothing distributor. If you have any questions, please call me or send me an email. The next time you are in New York, please visit my warehouse. My website is closeoutexplosion.com. Have a great day.